Evening, YouTube. Etheria Restart Hyper Talk Episode 3. The devs are actually communicating with us again after weeks upon weeks of zero communication. We actually got some more info out from the devs. This just launched about an hour ago. I'm curious to see what they have to say. As since they about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they said they would be a little bit more communicative with the community, and lo and behold, unfortunately, they haven't been. There has been a couple nerfs pre-launch of the game, but we haven't seen anything too significant otherwise after they made that statement, which is really unfortunate because all they had to do was maybe even just keep us in the loop. I've heard some rumors and some murmurings that the devs actually sat down and were speaking to content creators, like sort of offline and off platform, which even if they were doing that, it would have been nice for them to just tell us, hey, we're talking with some content creators. We're talking with the top dogs of the game to get sort of their feedback and just get an idea of what's happening. All they had to do was let us know, hey, stay tuned. There's going to be more info. But there has been zero communication since then. Definitely unfortunate, but let's see what this Hyper Talk Episode 3 is going to come out with. I'm very curious what they have to say, because as I'm sure as you guys know, the state of the game currently isn't exactly the best right now. So we'll see what they have to say here in Dev Talk Episode 3.
Hey there, I'm Marcus, joining you once again to explore the latest news from Etheria Restart with Chris.
Hey guys, it's me, Chris, again, here for the third episode of Hyper Talk. Can you believe it's already been a month since Etheria launched? Marcus, want to share some of the incredible milestones we've hit?
Absolutely. We've officially crossed 1.5 million downloads worldwide.
Okay.
Our Discord community has grown over 100,000 members who share strategies and stories daily.
Okay.
And the YouTube content from both players and creators has been amazing. We want to thank you for the incredible support.
But honestly, these achievements are all because of you guys. Etheria shines because of your support.
Yeah.
Speaking of appreciation, we've got some in-game goodies for you guys. Use the code Etheria30D for some in-game rewards.
All right, let's jump into today's
30D.
questions. First up, how often will Blessings Galore events last? Will there be daily attempt limits?
So we launched one of these events about 2 weeks ago, and we loved seeing everyone's enthusiasm. Your feedback has been invaluable.
I think you're talking about the 2x
Going
event.
forward, we'll announce these events 5 days in advance on our official platforms and in-game notifications.
5 days in advance.
And the good news is that there's no attempt limit. So make sure to look out for these notifications and manage your stability wisely until then.
Yeah, so I've been calling this out for the past few weeks. What would really save this game right now? All they have to do is make 2x a weekly thing. You have 5 2x events every week. One day it's double X 2x shells. One day it's double X modules. One day it's double X XP. One day it's double X prowess materials. If they did that, the amount of positivity they would get from the community would be absolutely phenomenal. I feel like limiting it to just whenever we decide 5 days in advance, I feel is kind of an L. A lot of other games, a lot of other like gacha games that like play like Etheria, they have, or even make like a monthly thing. It doesn't even have to be a weekly thing. Just make it so there's like these events that we know ahead of time and we can plan for. That way we can like start like planning our week. Schedule drops every patch or something like that. Just like, and 5 days in advance, I'm not really a big fan of. We definitely need more than 5 days in advance to like figure out like what we want to be farming for right now. We should know like weeks to it, like a month in advance. Maybe I'm being a little greedy there, but...
Next question. Are there description errors with the Revelation Halloween shells? And is it normal that they let Freya deal explosive damage?
Halloween shells, is that the specific name for the shells that are like off of a specific boss? Calling it a Halloween shell when he's talking about Revelation is weird to me. Thinking about Revelation? Okay.
We did have some incorrect buff descriptions that have been fixed in recent updates, but as for Freya's design, this is in line with the game. You need to max her attack and crit, and then pair her with Revelation to pull it off. Sure, it looks pretty powerful, but there are matrices in the game that can work with counter strategy.
This is a big L. That's a big L. He literally just said, get good. That's insane. This being intended isn't concerning? Yep. I agree. He's right, though. No. Not really. Not really. Revelation does true damage. What can you do to stop true damage? He's saying the interaction is intended? No, he's saying this is fine. Yeah. He's saying Yeah, he's saying this is supposed to be happening in the game. Like, they are aware of it, and it is intended. That's an L.
We'd love to see players work together to come up with these strategies.
Everyone's also curious about balance updates.
What is the defense there? It's just fucking true damage. You can't counter true damage. It's fucking true damage. Tank down teams can't handle rev spam. I don't know how well built they are. No, even a tanky team can't handle 2 to 3 revelations.
These changes lightly. Previously, we've only fixed bugs so far that impacted the game progression. Our plan is to handle balance in between RTA seasons. So as for Deting, I can guarantee he'll stay powerful the entire season. He's not gonna.
So this is also another talking point of mine. The fact that these seasons are more than 100 days long, they are pigeonholing themselves into such a bad situation where, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the current RTA season still has 70 days left. We have 70 more days before the meta even shifts slightly. Because now that the top players have figured out what the meta is, that is all that is going to be used. So guys, I really hope you enjoy the next 10 weekly Etheria Restart PvP tournaments, because they're all going to look the exact same. There's going to be nothing different. Everyone's going to be running revelations. We may see some tankier teams as people like get more pulls and pull for these more tankier teams. Most of the player base isn't even close to endgame. I disagree. I think a lot of people are in endgame now. I would say more than half of the average player is probably Hell 2 to Hell 3. And that's pretty close to endgame.
Getting nerfed. He's never been nerfed.
Mid-season or tri-season balance? Mid-season balance, I think they need.
Another question. We're constantly swapping equipment during character development. In Etheria and United Front, does the game save whatever equipment you have on for these formations or not?
That's a great question. For Etheria, equipment updates in real time based on what you have on the characters currently. You'll need to manage these resources carefully to make sure that your defensive teams are running defensive gear, and etc. Early on, you might find yourself constantly borrowing modules between characters and shifting around, but as you progress, this will get a little bit easier and you'll have a greater equipment collection.
What a horrible response. We all know that is how it works. We're not asking, this isn't a question. We're asking for a change. Yes, we get the basic function of the game because we could see it happening in real time. Why not go, yeah, we're going to change it though? What? Yes, Chris, we know that's how it works. We're asking this because we want it to fucking change. Yes, it'll get easier over time, sure. But that's not the thing that we're focusing on. We're focusing on the now. Because the issue is, like, I don't think they realize. Dude, XD doesn't realize how important the next month to 2 months of the game is going to be. Because people are quitting in fucking droves. Our guild ego has lost more than half of our members over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Like, they need to make these quality of life positive changes now before these people quit the game. You can't just go, we'll revisit it in 70 days and see what happens. Oh, this is so frustrating.
Shifting around, but as you progress, this will get a little bit easier and you'll have a greater equipment collection. United Front works a little bit differently though. It only saves the equipment from your last deployed formation. Any changes made afterward won't affect this formation.
He's wrong. Am I crazy or is he wrong? If you put your defense into the United Front, save it, and then change gear before it locks in, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the gear changes. It doesn't actually lock in. You're wrong? Are you sure? I don't know about that one. I think it only locks in when it actually starts. I don't think I'm wrong there. It only locks when the United Front starts. It doesn't lock in when you put in your formation. It's bugged then? I know for a fact. I mean, if it's bugged and multiple people are I think if you said it, change something, then go back to the garrison, we'll update to what you changed. That's interesting because I know multiple people have been experiencing that issue, and I have as well. If you said it, change something, then go back to the garrison, we'll update. So you have to. JJ tested it by leveling up his character. I think leveling a Cyan, that's completely different. Leveling a character and gear are two separate, completely different things.
If you need to update your equipment during the layout period, make sure to re-enter your formation and confirm the layout before the phase ends.
I don't think
Question
that's
about unions.
true.
What happens when a union president goes inactive, but all the other members are still active?
If you see my battle reports, my first and 4 teams were totally naked. Yeah.
Let me explain how union leadership works.
It
After
sounds like a
creating
major
union,
bug then.
The president can't be
The amount of bugs that this game has when it comes to gear is fucking insane. I can't tell you how many times I'll be speed tuning for a specific fight, change the gear, go into the fight, and they still had the stats, like the old stats.
changed for the
I'm pretty sure Gil v Gear snapshots gear. The issue we're talking about when it actually snapshots. Because from what I've seen and my understanding, it doesn't actually lock in until the Gil v Guild event starts. So after the layout period when it starts. But it's written into the rules is what they said. I would have to go into the game and look.
first week. After that, they can voluntarily transfer leadership to other members. If a president stays offline for more than 30 days and there's a vice president that has been
Nobody
active
cares
within
about
the
this.
last 24 hours, they
Well,
can
people
start
care,
an
but-
impeachment against the president. So leadership will then go to the most active VP with the highest contribution score.
About banner schedules. Holden and Hoyan's banner has been updated pretty quickly, but Yelly took 2 weeks. What's the plan going forward?
So in Etheria's
I'm not sure what
early
this
days,
is
we
about.
didn't have as much animus for diverse strategies. So in this phase, we kept banners coming a little bit more frequently. Now that we've built up the roster,
okay,
we're
okay.
stabilizing at one new banner every 3 weeks.
One new banner every 3 weeks. I don't know how they are going to keep up with a new character every 3 weeks. When seasons are over, oh god. I don't agree with this. When RTA seasons are over 100 days long, a new unit every 3 weeks, the balance is going to be a fucking nightmare. Oh my god. I don't like that. There's no way they can balance a new unit every 3 weeks when they said they won't make any significant changes for RTA seasons. Oh god.
Plus, each
I've given XD the benefit of the doubt so much. I think this is a bad call. I'm so afraid of that.
update brings more than just new banners, so expect new events and gameplay as well.
Since we're on the topic of
I like how they say new events, but they've recycled the same event. They've recycled 2, maybe 3 of the same event multiple times now. We got the Dazzler Exodia event twice. We got the Monopoly event twice. Why are they... Oh boy, we got the cage fights. They've recycled 3 to 4. Yeah. Couldn't they just do a banner for 1 of the old SSR? Exactly. That's what they need to do. They need to put specific units like Lily on a banner. I actually like the Shell story, but the Dazzler event, ugh. I'm on the verge of leaving the game. I'm not gonna say I'm close, but I'm very frustrated with how the just everything with the game.
banners, can you tease any upcoming animes?
I was hoping you'd ask. I came prepared today, but before we dive into the
Also, I forgot to mishear. Someone said Chris looks unsettling. Chris looks like AI. I'm not trying to be mean, but like, bro looks so out of place. He looks like Dream. You guys remember Dream? Why does he look? Oh god.
details,
It's like fucking me up. I'm trying to like focus on what's happening. He was cooked in a lab.
take a quick look at this beautiful animated showcase. Let's watch
His
the video.
his face is perfect. His face is like too high quality. Oh, is this a teaser for a new unit?
本当に良い趣味をお持ちですか？
He's tried E7. I haven't, but I
深海タワ
might.
ーに行かずこんなとこ
You
ろ
guys
で
remember
関
Dream?
東だなんて。
I might try
もう深
E7.
海グループはルパートの手中に落ちたわ。あなた、今の自分の境遇を分かってる？ ええ
Eh?
ご心配には及びません
Never face reveal? True.
私にも考え
Guys, ever since I face revealed and stopped being a VTuber, my views and stuff have just went down. Once everyone figured out I'm a fat white guy and not a hot anime man, my views have never been lower.
があります あなた方だけでですか
He's a Dragoon? Yeah, true. So I'm calling it now, she's gonna be a support.
カマキリ専
Thought
門
every
の
VTuber was a fat white guy.
王
It's
者
true.
の後にあり存分に策を練りなさいルパート私の運命は私が決めるあなたにはその貪欲と傲慢の
I get they're trying to do more story stuff, but oh my god. I do not fucking care about the story at all. I feel like they did such a bad job about helping us care about the story. Holy moly. Fukui, yeah, she's gonna be a support 100%. She could, she's called "fuck you." Reminds me of Austin Powers. Fook me, fook you. It's okay to trade female viewers for male viewers. True.
やっとおいでになられたのですね
Story was boring. Oh yeah.
裁判官先
Don't get me wrong. Like, the ending was kind of hype, but the issue is I didn't know about what was going on in the story for the ending to care about the ending.
Wow, who's this elegant fighter? Even her combat style is so graceful and composed.
Meet Fucho, one of Doki Entertainment's
Shield,
executive vice presidents.
2 single damages.
She's a tactical hub focused on turn meter manipulation.
Who would have guessed? Wow. A support focused on turn meter. Wow. Insane. Oh, a support that focuses on turn meter manipulation? Oh.
Let's check out her skill showcase together.
万物には価値がありますその価値
Every
こそが
support, basically
そ
every
れぞれ
support
の
is
立ち
turn
位
meter
置を決める
manipulation.
のです探り合いはよしましょうあなたが出す手札次第で
Wellspring.
契約の内容は決めさせていただきます
Alright, let's see it.
Skill 1. Fuchu deals damage to a single enemy and advances the action progress of 2 random allies. At the end of an enemy's turn, if Fuchu does not have Serenity, advances her own turn meter. If Fuchu has Serenity, delays her own turn meter. All allies trigger Serenity at the end of their turn or when attacked, gaining turn meter increase and healing a portion of their max HP. If Fuchu
So it's like Valerian, but with HP instead of shields.
triggers Moonlit Veil, she will not gain action progress. Skill 2. Fuchu deals damage to a single enemy 3 times based on Fuchu's max HP. Each
Damage based on her max HP is kind of crazy.
hit has a chance to trigger Moonlit Veil for 1 other allied unit, always prioritizing the ally with the lowest current HP percentage. Ultimate. Fuchu grants all allies a shield for 2 turns based on Fuchu's max HP, then applies Serenity to herself for 2 turns and increase speed to other allies for 2 turns.
Okay.
Fucho's skills and fighting styles
Interesting.
are so refined. In that animation we just watched, there was
I feel
another
like she doesn't set herself apart from the other support units. That's one thing I'm kind of disappointed with this game is all of the supports just feel like they do the exact same thing but very slightly differently. Like nobody just feels unique. They all just feel like copy paste of each other.
new animus at the very end. Can you tell
Maybe
us a
I'm
bit
wrong there.
about him?
Absolutely. So the other new animus you saw is Nahor, one of the 3 executive justices at EOS. He treats everyone with fairness, no favoritism, no prejudice, and ready to work together with everyone to fight. Let's check out his intro PV.
Oh god, a male unit? Oh god, oh. He looks neat, but nothing crazy. I don't know what else they could do. I'm not a game designer, I don't know. Oh, they're showing his kit too. Oh, what the fuck? So it looks like Sunday? He does look like Sunday.
Skill 1. Nahor inflicts damage on a single enemy with a chance to apply lower defense for 2 turns.
Okay.
Skill 2. Nahor deals damage to a single enemy with a chance to dispel all buffs and apply
Interesting.
block for 2 turns.
Another block.
Ultimate skill. Nahor deals AoE damage to all enemies with a chance to apply lower defense for 2 turns and freeze for 1 turn. Nahor's second skill completely strips an enemy's buffs while preventing them from receiving new ones through the block effect. This significantly reduces team pressure and challenging content, whether facing powerful bosses in PvE or during extended PvP matches. Nahor can become a decisive tactical advantage for your team.
Wow, these
Why?
two new
Why
animuses
why does 2 of his abilities apply defense down though? I don't. That's kind of silly.
will join the game on July 10th. Also,
July-
remember at the end of the
Are they? Wait, are they both coming on the 10th? Both of them are coming on the 10th. Oh my god. There's too many units coming. There's. Oh god.
will join the game on July 10th. Also, remember at the end of the last Hyper Talk when we teased some new gameplay? Chris, do you have any more updates on this?
Yes, I do. So since Etheria's official launch, we've added tons of new content as seen through Guild vs Guild with United Front, boss challenges such as Cage Rumble, and various events.
Guys, everyone hates Cage Rumble. I haven't seen a single positive thing about Cage Rumble.
Modes. Today, I'm excited to introduce a brand new PvE mode called Dreamscape. In this game mode, hyperlinkers can use dream keys to challenge mazes scattered throughout the Dreamscape. These mazes contain portals leading to different areas, which each
Is this not just the Wuthering Waves? What's that Wuthering Waves thing called? What is it? Oh god, what's it called? Whimpering? No, it's not whimpering. The Elusive Realm. Yeah, this is Elusive Realm. That's this is literally Elusive Realm.
will have unique gameplay waiting to be discovered. You'll need to explore carefully and make strategic decisions as you go. In the mazes, you'll also encounter a massive boss known as the Dreamweaver. It has 3 different elemental forms.
The fact that this is just a reskin, oh god. It's just a fucking reskin of the chicken and the hyperlink thing. Why can't we get like more like new things? Like it looks cool. Like I like the look of it, but it's literally just the same boss that we fought. I'm pretty sure this is the same boss we fought in the story too, but she was red. How many times are we going to fight the same model?
And you can switch between them daily for a different type of challenge.
It's a boss of the
The more
chroma,
damage
yeah.
you deal, the better your rewards.
Finally, Chris, any updates on the official Etheria Esports events?
Absolutely. Starting late July, we're launching
Nobody, that's crazy. The fact that they're dedicating time during this dev talk to the EWS, when the EWS affects like what, maybe 100 players total that are actually like trying to climb and get into the EWS, that's wild. This is insane. Why are they talking about something that 0.01% of the player base can actually take part in during their dev talk when there's so many other issues with the game?
Absolutely. Starting late July, we're launching the first ever exclusive EWS tournament.
Nobody
We'll
cares.
have amazing rewards, exciting guests, legendary players, and the top 8 competitors all participating together. On top of that, players can earn exclusive tournament cosmetics like avatar frames, nameplates, card borders, and more. Don't miss out.
Yeah, 0.1% of the players are going to be able to do that.
So EWS has way more than just competitions. There's so much more content.
Like what?
Everyone make sure not to miss out.
Like what?
Well, that wraps up.
If there's that much more content, tell us what the content is. Because the current, like, the only thing that the EWS does is the top maybe 100, 150 players that are trying to get into the EWS. No, they don't care. They don't care about anything else. What is the content for the normal players of the game?
So this episode of Hyper Talk. Don't forget to use code Etheria30D for in-game rewards. That's all for today. See you next time.
What a bad. Following up with tomorrow's Etheria meetup featuring Jack, Vulcan, and Genizad. Hopefully this is good. Hopefully we get some stuff out of this. Because this was awful. That was absolutely awful. Holy moly. Generar, yeah. So, okay. Here's what they need to do. They need to have some big talking points tomorrow. I'm really hoping Vulcan and Genizad are like, I'm literally going to message Genizad tonight about stuff I want him to talk about with Jack. I'm going to feed him questions he needs to ask and stuff he needs to suggest. Because my God, that was a horrible hyper talk. Oh my God. So a couple of things they needed, and before it was pre-recorded, oh God, don't say that. I don't think it was. Well, actually, it might have been. Holy shit, now that I think about it, it might have been. So what they need, I'm going to give you guys a laundry list of things Etheria needs to do. They needed to do it a week ago. So they either need to reduce the cost of leveling units, reduce the cost of the shell credits, the coins, because right now, someone smarter than me can do the math, but I'm gonna be throwing some napkin math out there. Right now, to full plus 15 a 6 piece of modules, it's 700,000 shell credits. You get about what do you get, like 70 to 80k per 100 stamina. So you need to spend about 800 stamina alone to level up all of your modules one time. That's just one set of plus 15 plus 15. Actually, no, it's worse than that. It's 700 times 6. We got to bust out the calculator for this one. 700,000 times 6. You need 4.2 million shell credits to fully plus 15 6 units or six modules. You get about, I think it's about, let's be generous and say 75,000. Is it for higher quality gear? That's for like the best gear. You need about 75,000. You get 75,000 per 100 stamina. This math sounds right. To fully max 6 pieces of gear, 6 modules to plus 15, you need to spend 5.6 thousand stamina. That sounds right, but it also sounds on the higher end. And this is just when we're considering spending like 10 stamina on doing the shell runs and the module runs. That sounds right, but it also sounds kind of high. I could be wrong. Again, this is napkin math. So again, per 100 stamina, you get roughly about 75,000 credits. That's absurd. That much stamina to plus 15 6 modules is fucking crazy. So they either need to lower the cost of how much it costs to level them, or increase what we get from the from like doing the runs. And this is not only that. That 75,000 that I'm talking about, that's with if you bought the $5 a month pass, because you naturally get 10% more coins for everything you do. So it's actually even worse for like a free-to-play player or someone who doesn't actually have the $5 a month pass. They need to either increase the energy cap, and also you also get bonuses on that as well, where if you have the $5 a month pack, your energy is higher. I think currently mine's at like 211, and I'm like level 96 or so. They need to either increase it or do what Wuwa and HSR does, where if you've been logged out of the game for so long, it's like you get 1 extra energy per 10 minutes that like goes into a reserve. So they need to do that. So they either need to fix either the cost of leveling or how much we get from these events, or from regular runs. It's the same issue on the shell training front. We don't get nearly as much than what it costs to spend. And it's even worse for the shell leveling, because just having to do a reset on like the passes of the shell, it's 30,000 per roll on a higher end shell. So I think that's about 30 to 40 stamina you have to spend to actually do one reroll on your passive. So to get a good passive, and obviously I don't know if I know the rates on what it looks like for like rolling the specific ones. That's just far too much. They either, again, need to reduce the cost of what it takes to reroll these passives, or they need to increase the amount of shell tuners that are dropped from doing the events. Those two would be huge. Those are my 2 biggest complaints of the game, is how much it costs to level these stuff. Secondly, when you are doing Inferno, when you are doing the hardest of the hard content in the game, you should not be getting Mythic, which are the yellow shells, as much as we currently are. Because when I do 10 runs on Inferno, I swear to God, it's like a 70%, 70 to 80% yellow drop rate on these shells. Either completely remove them from the Inferno drop pools, or increase the drops of the three passive shells. Because for me personally, I've probably spent over, I'd say about 30,000 stamina on doing Inferno stuff so far. The drop rate for 3 passive shells, which has 3 lines, has a 3-3-3, it feels like 2 to 3%. And obviously, I don't have any like math on that. I don't have any proof on that. But just from what I've seen, it's roughly about 2 to 5%, if I had to guess. And not only that, not only is the drop rate so low, getting an actual usable piece with the right passives or the right set bonuses that you want on the gear. So first we have to deal with the small drop rate, and then you have to pray to God it rolls the exact 2 that you want. Because the 3 technically, because multiple the shells have multiple of that third piece, Swift Raid, Fury Edge, etc. So it's RNG on RNG on RNG to get the thing that you want. You have to pray to God that it drops, and then pray to God that it rolls properly, and then get to spend even more money to reforge it. And I'm the type of guy, I've been saying this for a while. I like that it is a long process of doing this. I don't want everything handed to me. But right now, it's nearly impossible. And if you're not playing the game for 10 hours a day, it feels like you will be behind forever. That is very clear in the past 2 tournaments that I've been on, the weekly tournaments. And again, I went up against the best of the best players, right? The best of the best players that are probably spending 10, 11, 12 hours per day farming, crafting their gear, getting everything up to where they possibly can. And you guys saw how badly I got crushed. And I am no casual player by any means. I play this game pretty significantly. I've probably played it 2 to 3 hours a day minimum since launch. The difference in between my gear and their gear was insane. So a player that is just casually playing the game, there is no hope of them to ever hit anything with how bad these rates are, how long it takes to level things, and just the general overall feel of the game. They need to do something. I said it earlier in the video, and I'll say it again. There needs to be a double drop either every month or every week, one for each of the things. 1 day for shells, 1 day for shell credits, not shell credits. 1 day for shells, 1 day for modules, 1 day for XP, and then 1 day for prowess materials. Because right now it takes far too long to level up a unit, way too long. So they either need to reduce the cost or give us more double events. And the issue is they need to do this sooner than later, because the game is bleeding players. I can't tell you how many chats that I'm in, because I'm pretty close to a lot of the communities. Lakari's community, Techie's community, Genizad's community. How fast people are quitting the game, it is at an extremely alarming rate. And I promise you, with how bad the general overall feel of Etheria Restart has been over the past few weeks, with the lack of communication, with the maybe some of the shoddy weird changes that probably shouldn't have been made, it's bad. There's not a lot of new players coming to the game. And if there's not a lot of new players coming to the game isn't going to survive. So they need this talk that they're doing tomorrow. We will obviously cover it, but if nothing significant happens, I'm afraid. And it's such a shame because I love this game. I think this game has so much potential and they are wasting it away. And I feel like they're just not listening, right? They need to listen to these content creators and to the people that are you know what? I wouldn't even say they need to be listening to the people that play it 12 hours a day. I know they've been doing a lot of talking with the EWS people, and I feel like listening to the EWS people is probably going to lead them down a bad path, because the people that are at the top of the top, they're speaking for 0.01% of the player base. They need to be talking about the people that are just the average people, the people that are playing it maybe 1 to 3 hours a day. See what their struggles are like, get their opinions on things, which I think Genizad is a perfect example of that. I think some people like me and Genozad that like really love the game, we've invested a pretty decent amount of time into it. We sort of know what is going on within the game, and sort of have like a feel. I don't want to sit here and say I'm extremely smart, but I think I have my finger on the pulse of like the biggest issues of the game. And I think I have some. I mean, obviously, my suggestions aren't anything crazy. They're not anything new or innovative, but I still feel like they're on the pulse of like what the average player wants and needs, and that would like definitely fix the game. But I don't know. Yeah, Vulcan. I mean, Vulcan's another example. I don't know him well enough. I'm really hoping he has some good feedback for the developers because I think they're severely wasting some crazy potential in this game. It has so much potential, but we shall see. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'm sure a lot of you have quit Etheria. I know this game had a ton of hype on launch, and unfortunately, I feel like that hype has died, and people are just being really negative about the game, and I understand why they are. But yeah, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.